This engine did not fail because owners abused it. It did not fail because it was poorly maintained. And it did not fail because it was old. This Porsche engine failed because of one small design decision. A decision so catastrophic that it destroyed engines without warning, wiped out life savings, and permanently damaged Porsche's reputation. Thousands of engines failed. Class action lawsuits followed, and Porsche stayed silent for years. This is the story of the Porsche IMS bearing, an invisible part that nearly destroyed an entire generation of Porsche cars. When people think of Porsche, they think of perfection, precision engineering, motorsport dominance, and legendary reliability, especially from the 911. But in the late 1990s and early 2000s, Porsche was struggling. Sales were declining, development costs were rising, and the company needed to survive. So Porsche made a decision that would save them financially, but cost owners billions. They changed how they built engines, and no one noticed until it was too late. In 1997, Porsche introduced a new generation of engines, the M96 engine. It powered Porsche 911996 generation, Porsche Boxster 986. Later versions of the 997. This engine was revolutionary for Porsche. It was water-cooled instead of air-cooled, cheaper to manufacture, designed for mass production. For Porsche, this engine saved the company. But saving money required compromises. And one compromise would become legendary for all the wrong reasons. Deep inside the M96 engine is a component called the intermediate shaft bearing, or IMS bearing. Its job is simple. It connects the crankshaft to the camshafts. It keeps engine timing perfectly synchronized. If this bearing fails, timing is lost instantly. And when timing is lost in a Porsche flat six engine, everything collides. Valves hit pistons. Metal shatters. The engine destroys itself in seconds. There is no warning, no gradual failure, no time to react, just silence and a repair bill larger than the car's value. Here's where the nightmare begins. Porsche chose to use a sealed ball bearing for the IMS. That means it relied on its own grease. It was not constantly lubricated by engine oil. Over time, the grease dried out. Heat broke it down. Moisture contaminated it. And metal fatigue set in. Once lubrication failed, the bearing overheated. Once it overheated, it disintegrated. Once it disintegrated, the engine was finished. One tiny bearing, one sealed design, total engine destruction. At first, failures were rare. A few engines here, a few there. Porsche dismissed them as isolated incidents. Owners were blamed. You drove it too hard. Maintenance issue, out of warranty. But failures increased. Engines with 30,000 miles, 40,000 miles, even 20,000 miles. Perfectly maintained cars were dying without warning. Forums exploded with reports. Independent shops saw patterns. Engine builders sounded alarms. Porsche did nothing. Exact numbers are still debated, but estimates suggest 5–10% failure rate on some variants, thousands of engines destroyed, billions in repair costs. Engine replacement costs ranged from $15,000 to $25,000, sometimes more than the car's resale value. Many owners walked away. Others rebuilt engines only to fear it happening again. The worst part? There was no recall. Internal documents later revealed something shocking. Porsche engineers were aware of IMS bearing weaknesses early on. They quietly updated bearing designs, changed shaft diameters, revised lubrication methods. But they never admitted fault. No public announcement, no apology, no responsibility. Why? Because admitting a design flaw would have triggered massive recalls, destroyed resale values, damaged Porsche's premium image. So Porsche stayed silent. Owners paid the price. The Porsche community did what Porsche wouldn't. Aftermarket solutions emerged. Upgraded IMS bearings, ceramic bearings, direct oil-fed conversions, permanent fixes. But installation required engine removal. Preventative repairs cost thousands. Owners had to pay extra to fix a problem they didn't cause. And many still didn't know until their engine failed. The IMS disaster left scars. Porsche redesigned future engines. Different architecture, better lubrication, stronger tolerances. Later engines eliminated the IMS entirely, and Porsche quietly moved on. But the damage remains. The 996 generation is still labeled risky, unreliable, avoid unless upgraded. One design shortcut saved Porsche and punished loyal owners. Like BMW's S85 V10, this engine wasn't bad engineering. It was engineering pushed too far in the wrong direction. Power, performance, and cost savings collided with reality. And once again, owners paid the price. If you enjoy real automotive stories, the ones manufacturers rarely talk about, subscribe, because the next story might be even worse.